What's going on, guys? Supersavage 789 here, bringing you guys in a video, and today we're doing What If King Piccolo Was Never Sealed. We have a lot to cover today, so without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The first ever climactic battle for the fate of the Earth against the Demon King Piccolo led to Master Roshi Sensei sacrificing himself to seal away the threat and usher in peace for a few centuries. However, what if Mutaito had failed in this endeavor? From the stress of the battle, as well as the taxing nature of the Mafuba, Mutaito just barely misses the rice cooker, resulting in Piccolo not being sealed. A somber look falls over the old man's face as he collapses and dies, his final moments being that of regret as Piccolo's laughter echoes all around them. Taking some precaution, Piccolo crushes the rice cooker under his foot as he takes delight in Roshi and Shen's terror-filled faces. He assures them not to worry, they'll be meeting their master again momentarily, and with one powerful blast, it consumes them both, turning them into nothing but ash. In less than a minute, the fate of the world drastically changes as the reign of Piccolo is all but set in stone. With these threats no longer opposing him, Piccolo begins taking control of the globe. He quickly takes over the king's throne and declares to the populace of Earth that he is their supreme leader. All acts of crimes will be made legal, causing widespread panic as the mayhem begins. And to set in this dread even more, Piccolo announces the lottery for city destruction. Now with no one to oppose him, he'd simply blow up a city, exciting himself for the idea of Earth becoming his personal toy box. Watching these events transpire, Kami would feel an extreme amount of guilt, recognizing that Piccolo's creation was all his fault. He tells Popo that there is no one who could stop his evil half. While he contemplates dying in order to take Piccolo with him, no one on Earth could kill him. So he tells Popo that he must act on this. There is only one solution that he can use. In the coming days, Piccolo will create numerous children to snuff out any martial artist hiding. They also have the purpose of keeping up the chaos, going to cities where crime is settled in order to induce terror. He'd also send a few of his children to gather the Dragon Balls, knowing that if the world ever knew the magical wonders they hold, it could pose a threat to him. It wouldn't take him very long to get the complete set, placing them like trinkets in front of him with the purpose of destroying them, instead of merely doing it though. He knows the best way to get the most enjoyment out of it. He knows that his good half will be paying him a visit very soon, so why not let him witness his greatest creation's destruction? And of course, Piccolo would be correct, as in the next few days, Kami would appear at his castle. Some of the weaker offspring of Piccolo would try to attack the intruder, who would immediately be destroyed by the god's strength. Piccolo asks him if he's come to congratulate him on his new position of power, to which he gets no response. Instead, Kami tells him that he's come to take responsibility for his mistakes. He will right the wrong of ever creating Piccolo and fix all this destruction. This sparks some curiosity from Piccolo. How could Kami hope to do all that? If either one of them die, then the destruction will not cease. Hell, it will only grow from his children's lack of direction. That's when Kami throws a bottle onto the ground, speaking the words that almost brought Piccolo's downfall days ago. Mafuba. The green wave picks up Piccolo, causing him to scream in terror. Kami focuses hard, trying to maintain the technique, holding the spiral steady as he prepares to plant him in the bottle. To Kami's surprise, however, Piccolo's screams of shock become laughter. You really think I wouldn't prepare for this, Kami? The technique becomes reversed, as Piccolo is now the one in control. Left unprepared for this outcome, Kami is swept up and promptly placed in the very bottle he planned to put Piccolo in. To make sure this remains the case for many years, Piccolo then consumes the bottle. And to mark that Kami won't be able to help anyone, Piccolo smashes the Dragon Balls one by one into crystal shards that form into pebbles on the carpet. The reign of Piccolo will now commence. To symbolize this, the first thing Piccolo would do is destroy the lookout and kill anyone who resided below it. This includes Popo. Most people believe Popo had a power level over 1,000, but that's only after the King Piccolo arc, because he states in that very arc that he's weaker than Kami, so Piccolo here could easily kill him. Piccolo will continue making more kids to stir up the chaos, with the numbers easily going over 100 over the many years to come. If each year that passed, Piccolo would continue doing his lottery to decide which city would get destroyed, until he got down to 2 or 3 of them. At that point, recognizing the boredom he'd have from complete extinction, Piccolo instead decides to torment these remaining humans in other nefarious ways. He'd host random tournaments of people, with the winner being the only one to live afterwards. With martial artists becoming extinct, it'd just be regular people participating, but it'd still invoke some enjoyment from the tyrant king. Over the many decades of this constant routine, King Piccolo had become bored. There was no one to oppose him, and with his occasional tournaments and continuous chaos sparking some joy, it usually leaves him feeling empty. With his continuous creation of kids of various strength, as well as his age getting over 300, Piccolo would likely spend the majority of his time sat in his throne, wasting away. And thankfully for Piccolo, he'd get that entertainment, as a present from space would be soon to arrive. Nothing would change in Bardock's plan to send his son to Earth, so Goku would still arrive. Here though, I doubt that he'd have anyone to raise him. Grandpa Gohan would likely be dead due to the martial artist purge. However, if he's still alive, he'd just be an old man of no note due to Roshi being dead, so he'd be kept within Piccolo's reach of the few remaining cities. so Goku would just be alone, wandering the mountains like a feral animal. On one night of hunting, Goku would be unfortunate enough to raise his head up and lock his eyes with a full moon. And we can all guess what happens next. Goku would become a mighty Ozaru, beginning to rampage. While his strength isn't exactly substantial, it's definitely enough to alert the demon spawn roaming the planet, who'd all flock towards the beast. While the stronger ones can definitely knock him around, a few of the weaker ones succumb to the Goliath's strength. Out of sheer curiosity, King Piccolo would decide that he too wants to take a gander at the beast somewhat unnoticed. He'd arrive on the battlefield, seeing the destruction left in Goku's wake as he continues battling against the green foes. A smirk appears over Piccolo's face as he notices the potential a beast like this has. So many games could be played with a pet like this. Plus, it's not like it'd ever become too much for him to handle. He raises his hand up and lets out a massive blast, warping the landscape in blinding light. When it fades, the Ozaru lays there on the ground unconscious, his fur still singeing. Questions would emerge how to transport a beast like this, or even where it came from to begin with. Their questions would all be cut short though, as they watch it begin to shrink and morph back into the shape of a human boy. Piccolo and his kids examine the unconscious child in awe, dumbfounded by how a toddler could become such a destructive beast. It's clear that with the strength exhibited at this point, in the future he could become something not even Piccolo could handle. Being loyal as ever, Drum would step up, holding out his hand to charge up a ki blast and erase Goku. Shockingly though, Piccolo would tell his child not to. He goes on to state how this boy could prove to be entertaining in the years to come. And with how mundane life has been for a while, Piccolo needs that entertainment. If he's raised by the family, then he'll know who to be loyal to. So Piccolo gives Goku a gi and a name, handing him to Piano to be in charge of raising him. For sake of simplicity, I'll still refer to Goku as Goku, but let me know down in the comments if you have any name ideas for the boy, since all of Piccolo's kids and Piccolo himself are named after musical instruments. As Goku grows up, he'd actually flourish under this battle-heavy climate. His Saiyan instincts would make him thrive, continuously picking fights with the various mutants. Thanks to Piano educating him, Goku would be in fact loyal to the Demon King. He'd also be a lot more cunning, using things like underhanded tactics in fights to get his way. I could see this version of Goku resembling Turles in the way he acts. Every full moon, Piccolo would make Goku become an Ozaru and allow him to run rampant. While it's usually in the hills or destroyed cities, on occasion he allows him to rampage in the populated towns, just to have some twisted joy watching the civilians run away in fear. After a little over a decade, King Piccolo's time would come to an end. His age would finally catch up to him, thanks to the many children he had eating away at his life. Instead of letting the Earthlings get off easy though, he recognizes the need for an heir to take his place. He tasks Piano with raising his reincarnation, while Goku takes charge in his wake. The other kids have the task to make it look like nothing has changed. If the Earthlings knew Piccolo is dead, they'll think they can revolt. So with everyone's jobs in place, Piccolo would channel all his remaining ki and spit out one final egg, exploding soon after. This egg is obviously Piccolo Jr. Next to the egg would be a bottle with a talisman. Being the Mafuba bottle Kami resides in, Piano will quickly take that and hide it away to make sure he's never released. And King Piccolo's plan goes off without a hitch. Everyone would assume their roles and keep the humans in the dark as to Piccolo's fate until Junior is old enough to take his father's position as king. It'd be clear from the start that this Piccolo is a lot different to his father. While he's still evil, he doesn't really care about tormenting whatever humans are left. Instead, he much prefers training and fighting, which he would spend a lot of his time doing. He'd quickly surpass all his brothers in strength, with only Goku being able to rival him in power. The duo would quite often have long, drawn-out battles, not caring about what gets in the way as they battle to their heart's content. And around a decade or so after Junior's birth, with nothing else notable to talk about, we come to Raditz's arrival on Earth looking for his brother. When he arrives, he'd be quite impressed by the destruction, assuming that his brother is the reason behind it. He'd turn on his scouter and be quick to locate Goku, along with very other strong power levels nearby. Obviously, he'd head there, killing a few of Piccolo's children whenever they passed by. He'd arrive at the king's castle, blasting a hole in the roof and landing inside. While he praises his brother's terraforming efforts, he tells him that they need to hurry it along. He reveals Goku's secrets and tells him to join, however Goku refuses. He's having fun here on Earth, following Piccolo as his ticket to endless delight. So Raditz can leave their planet, or he can die here. Obviously, Raditz refuses, leading to a fight breaking out. We should probably discuss our main character's power levels here, so you can understand the power levels they're playing with. The strongest of them would be Piccolo, thanks to his constant training with Goku, as well as King Piccolo having more time to getting stronger, leading to his power being stronger from birth. So I'd say that Piccolo is at a power level of about 580. He would however be weaker in the sense that he never created the Makonko Sapo, due to never having a need to. Next up is Goku, at his canon power level of 416. This might seem too weak, However, this Goku never got his various amps from Roshi training, the Ultra Divine Water, Kami training, etc. So this is a fair place to put him. After that, it's Tambourine, Drum, and Cymbal, all at power levels of around 200. Against Raditz though, these numbers might as well be 0, because they can't really do anything to him. Even working together alongside the dozens of nameless children does nothing but leave scuff marks on his armor. During the fight, they'd all collectively move further away from the castle into desolate wastelands, just from weaving attacks and being flung around. Raditz would be delighted in this battle, getting rather cocky at him being top dog. Because of this, he isn't immediately going for killing blows. Instead, he simply toys with them, taking all their attacks as he returns his own tenfold. He'd even grab Goku by the tail and begin using him as a weapon against the others. Seeing how useless they all really are invokes fear into the fighters. Clearly, if they keep going the way they are, they will die. Piccolo asks Goku if he has any more ideas, but the Saiyan is all out of them, beyond a few of them self-destructing. While Piccolo doesn't dismiss this, in order to get the job done, he'd likely have to sacrifice himself, and obviously he wants to avoid that. So he swallows his pride, telling Goku that he was hoping it wouldn't come to this. He uses his telepathy, telling his minion to stall Raditz in whatever ways he can, and swiftly flies away. This gets a chuckle from Raditz, as he says that guy has the right idea. Too bad it won't get him anywhere. He raises up his hand to finish off the fleeing Namekian when Goku speaks up. I'll admit, brother, I wasn't on board at first. If this is the level of strength I could achieve, then I'm game. Let's leave these useless creatures and focus on bigger prey. Raditz is amazed by his brother coming to his senses and tells him that they've wasted enough time already. They need to go. He raises up his hand to take down the rest of the mutants, but Goku beats him to the punch, blasting at them all while covering the field in dust and debris. When it clears, they're all clearly dead. Goku and Raditz then fly away to go recover Goku's space pod to leave. As soon as the duo leave, all the demons stand back up, having realized what Goku is doing. You know the solution? He simply needs to stall, so this is the best way to do that. Piccolo arrives at his castle where he'd quickly find Piano, asking him where it is. Frantically, Piano questions what he's referring to, with Piccolo clarifying he's going to release Kami. Piano asks if he's gone crazy, but the Namekian ignores him, angrily telling his lackey to do it now before it's too late. Not one to ignore an order, Piano agrees, swiftly grabbing the Mothra bottle from its hiding place. After one final confirmation from his master, Piano nervously releases Kami from the bottle. It takes the god a second to adjust to his aged body before locking eyes with his counterpart. Obviously, Kami would know why he's been released, to fuse with Piccolo for a strength boost, and after Piccolo shares his memories with Kami, the god would recognize that this really is the only way. He closes his eyes and smiles as he takes a long breath. Piccolo shouts at him to stop stalling and hurry up. They don't have much longer. Kami tells Piccolo that he can tell he's not as evil as his father was. He doesn't have to worry about the world he loved being destroyed any longer. Piccolo and Kami then fuse into one, granting Piccolo a significant boost in power. While neither know the exact method to do it, I don't think it's far-fetched to assume they could figure it out after some trial and error. After all, Nameless Namek literally split in half, so it only makes sense it could become one again. Goku and Raditz will locate Goku's old space pod, where they prepare to leave the planet. While they talk, Goku would be asking questions about the Saiyans, trying to pinpoint anything that could be of use. Naively, Raditz would mention that as the Saiyans' great weakness is their tail, which is something Goku locks onto. It wouldn't be hard for Piccolo to locate them, showing up to where they are. Raditz would chuckle at the Namekian's foolish bravado. However, he won't get too far. To prove a point, Piccolo begins powering up to his max. The scout continues beeping as Raditz shouts that his power level is 2900. Trying to calm himself down, Raditz remarks that the scout must be glitched. Besides, if the Saiyan brothers fight together, they'll be able to take down this slug. As he turns to Goku, wanting to send him to fight, he feels a sharp pain in his backside. His brother stands over him, smirking as he holds Raditz's tail, thanking him for the tip. Raditz begins begging for help, as Piccolo charges up an explosive demon wave. His pleas for mercy fall on deaf ears, as Piccolo unleashes a yellow blast, killing the Saiyan instantly. With that out of the way, all they are left with is Goku's old space pod. Goku tells Piccolo that it doesn't matter if he's a Saiyan, he's still loyal to the Demon Clan. To demonstrate that, he goes to destroy his space pod, however Piccolo stops him. He has an idea. The planet is pretty much dead anyway, so why waste their time on boredom when there is a cosmos out there? So Piccolo would grab Goku's space pod as well as Raditz's. Finally, he grabs Kami's old ship. Using telekinesis, he floats all three flying crafts into one populated city, making sure to get everyone's attention. My loyal subjects, listen up. Today's your lucky day. Your pathetic lives have become boring to torture, so I've decided to take my clan elsewhere. Bring me your greatest scientist, and after my ship is completed, you're free to live life however you wish. To me, that sounds like a fair deal. As the Namekian plans on leaving this planet, that's where we're going to leave off the first part right here. If you guys enjoyed this part, why not hit a like button and subscribe? And please share it around. I don't think many people are really going to be appealed by the idea of King Piccolo never being sealed, but I have to say this might be my best what if. I really knocked out the park with this one. It goes wild. So yeah, like it, subscribe, share it around, and comment down below what you think's going to happen in the next part, or future what if suggestions. And yeah, bye!